We got a couple more just because it's fun to hear you guys talk through this. But
This don't even make
wow.
To your point, like if I ever just stop and give in to the physicality, then they got me, which it happened a lot in the series. But the idea of like always being on the move, you're somewhat of a threat because you have one guy for sure, maybe two, sometimes three people worried about what your next move might be, trying to predict. And with all that chaos right there, with six people in the same area, like me just getting down below the free throw line, it just created gravity, right? That's the famous line. But
it also allows you guys to play with two quote-unquote non-shooters, which in today's league is almost impossible. But because the constant movement, you could play with Loon, you can play with Dre, and Draymond's had games. I think this was one of them where he made a bunch of threes, and he's obviously can do that. But those are classic non-shooters on a scouting report, and you still can be a highly effective and efficient offense.
You couldn't do that if it was just all pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. Right. Because at some point the defense is they're gonna just shift. They're gonna shift all the way to the lower side.
It's predictable. Sometimes I think like you're an off the ball player more than a pick and roll player, and that's a mistake. You're actually an elite pick and roll player. But because we're used to
spots,
so you do both. So now we've gone random pinch post to pass stuff, you screening, running up, head under the rim, taking it off, guys. To all of a sudden you go, hey, we need one. They scored, we get in the pick and roll. And now it's a whole nother type of coverage. And we haven't, whereas when I was playing, they're like, he's getting in pick and roll. And whether we switch and he's isoing or he's drawing the roll, they kind of know. There's a template here. Your template's like, twice as big.
And to your point, like this is the lineups that I was blessed to play with, that trust was built over, okay, if I give it up, to your point of like what's in the best interest of the team. Some teams, I get it. If you give it up, you might not get it back because you don't have another primary ball handler that can handle some ball pressure and still see the play. Yeah. And like me setting a screen on Clay, what you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah. But the ability for me to be able to set, screen, make a decision, and have the energy to do it for 48.
That's the most impressive. And I know there's basketball savants and guys that know the game, whatever. But like I said, a lot of things that don't get discussed too is your conditioning. I talked about the strength earlier, but the conditioning, like, never looks tired. Never looks defeated, never looks tired. Out there, like for 48 minutes or however long you're out on the floor, is this constant pressure. And that is it's deflating for a defense. It's power to your teammates. He's one of the few guys that I've ever seen that can, like I said, get off the ball and turn his back on the ball. You don't see that.
And when he does that,
he gets the ball, turns his back, and starts running this way.
And literally, when he does that, that's when, oh shit.
Yeah, so as a defender, if my guy gets off the ball, throws it over here, and he's running over here, you're like, okay, let me open up, because you've been taught your whole life, ball you basket, ball you man, like point at him. He started running away like this. You're like, oh shit, yay, boom. And he's coming out this way, ball's finding him, and you like...
He thinks this shit's funny.
I love it. He thinks it's funny. So much, I love it.
Yeah, he thinks it's funny.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's still going for it. The guys are still going. But the problem is, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's nice to get a couple steals, get that extra yard or two of space. He's still gonna... Let's go, okay, I'll set a screen. What are you gonna do? Okay, I'll come off and I'll curl and someone gets a layup. Like,
you can't, it's impossible to defend. You just gotta hope.
Yeah.
You just gotta hope for some odd reason.
Enough of them don't go in.
Yeah, and somebody has tightened the rim to a point where it's like an invisible finger underneath the net and the rim. He shoots it and they just keep. Yeah, because you just gotta hope that it goes. Like, just certain players in our league, there's just certain guys over the course of the history of the game, no matter what you do, they still have an advantage.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them great. That's what makes greats great.
So just talking gravity, it's chaos. And this is a set play. This is a ghost screen.
Yeah, we ran it last year a little bit. It's just a matter of, inverting, pick and roll, and then I get to decide.
Do I screen? Do I
Based on how my defender is, how close the guys guarding KD here, how much space I have on the weak side, whether I want to set it, get him downhill, go screen it out, slight hold and slip late. There's a lot of options and a lot of different timing that I can control as a screener here.
But in this particular clip, you saw two things. You saw space to go screen, run into, and you felt him climb up.
On the high side.
On the high side.
You feel it on your left shoulder right
See
there.
one bad mistake right now. Run his back. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right to everything that you saw in this clip. And I'm glad this is behind the camera. Why are we this hugged up?
So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
He
amazing.
sees it.
We could have ran that play 3 straight times and it'd have been a different
For sure.
coverage.
We should
just
never
because-
be this hugged up here.
Yeah.
With the two most dangerous guys on this side of the floor right here.
And to your point,
But
the game is
the
adapted
game.
now.
We're up. Listen, we're down
up
4.
in the gaps.
Yeah.
We're almost saying you can
Right.
throw the lob. Well, we'll give you a chance that we're in. We're saying
This guy, who's that? K-Love? K-Love's probably 2 steps
Yep.
to the right so
Yep.
that KD sees a body. He still might go downhill if I set a really good screen on you.
Yeah.
But at least he's showing himself early.
this picture, we never show that anymore.
No,
right?
there's no
This-
chance. Too many body tight defenders right here.
Everyone's foot in the
But
way.
you know, you just never know,
Space
too.
is
You look
everything.
at time and score, you're down 4, you know you got to get a stop, you're down 0-2. That also plays with
Yeah.
the psyche,
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I got to be the one to get the stop instead of saying, we got to get a stop.
Yeah.
So, like, everybody, I'm on KD, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't, it's loud in
forget
here, I
everybody
don't
else.
fuck everybody else. If I don't get the stop, boom. I don't know if I'm being talked to right now. Hey, screen coming, square, stay square. Obviously, we're not doing anything back here. Everyone's, because, he don't know if he comes off and now there's a wide pin for Clay coming off here.
Yeah.
We're down 4, 30 seconds to go. If we don't get a stop here, the game is definitely over. So, yeah, we may not ever see this anymore. The game is not talked like this anymore. But you never know when you're inside the arena and the fire's on you. So everything changes.
It's so important, especially like you can sit here and pick people apart watching games. If you're not in the room and you know why we chose this game plan, what player is not capable or willing.
That's that Monday morning quarterback right there.
It's hard.
Everybody could be that Monday morning quarterback.
You're not in the room, why we chose and why the coaches watched 100 hours of film and decided on this game plan with this group. Now, they can be wrong, but typically they did the work.
Right.
They did the work and they chose it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, but it's interesting though, because of both your teams, the way you played, the way you attacked the paint, the way that you're always threatening the front of the rim, now the game evolves and defenses are getting in the gaps. And they're saying you can skip it to player 3, 4, or 5 and we'll shift over our zone and we'll start again. But the game evolves. And I feel like that is one of the evolutions is now people are like in the gaps hard. There's no quick, I beat my guy and I can get in. It's a lot less prevalent to just have that open space.
You see how many teams are running guard-to-guard screens now. OKC won a championship essentially off of putting Shea and shooters around and making you have to decide.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to do the pick-on game, favorable matchup? Driving lanes are always there, kickouts to shooters if you need it, but just trying to create as much space as possible with decisions for the defense to have to make. I love what you said, the context of the game does matter. Like, we could freeze frame it. KD had just hit a shot. Like, okay, that everybody's antennas. Your antennas, it ain't gonna be you.
Right.
And like, I just love. That's why we play. That's why we love the game. Because every possession has some different
puzzle,
feel.
right?
So it's so much fun.
puzzle.
That's why you love the competition behind it.